Before we get into the video, could everyone please subscribe to my Endless Diary Tales channel? Thank you so much. At a business dinner, I had a drunken one-night stand with a financial tycoon and ended up pregnant. Our families quickly arranged a marriage, but my best friend warned me that the tycoon is perverted and ruthless, urging me not to marry him. My gentle childhood sweetheart confessed his feelings and offered to help me escape this gilded cage. Just as I was hesitating whether to gamble for my freedom, a fierce yet adorable voice suddenly piped up from my belly. Mommy, don't trust them. They're in cahoots. That wicked woman wants to take over, and the bad guy has already been bought off by her. If you run away, our family will go bankrupt right away and she'll have me killed. Why stay? You must stay. Dad isn't a pervert at all. He's just a bit stern and doesn't know how to say nice things. He's way better than those two-faced hypocrites. I took a long moment to calm down. They want me dead? Then this wealthy family I'm going to marry into? Without fail, hurry up, Bianca, or we'll be too late. Julian grabbed my arm with an anxious look on his face. My best friend Scarlett's eyes were red, filled with reluctance. Bianca, the car is ready. Go quickly and let me know you're safe when you arrive. Mommy, don't believe him. The elopement is fake. They just want you to run away so they can take over Grandpa's company together and then get rid of me. That wicked woman is so evil. The little one's voice was both childish and frantic. I looked at the two of them, feeling a deep sadness in my heart. I'm not leaving. Both of them froze in shock. Scarlett was frantic with worry. If you marry Damien, you're jumping into a pit of fire. He hasn't had a steady girlfriend in years. Rumor has it he's a freak in bed with all sorts of special kinks. Back at the Blue Night Club, girls who went in to drink with him were carried out horizontally, beaten black and blue without a single patch of unbruised skin. Bianca, don't be foolish. I scoffed coldly and stroked my belly. How could I not know just how twisted he is in bed? Scarlett froze, instinctively turning to look at Julian. Julian immediately played along, putting on an act of deep affection. Bianca, I truly like you. Don't you want to be with me? A soft babyish voice chimed in again. Mommy, don't believe him. He's already conspired with that bad woman. They plan to split the company down the middle, and he's got such a wild side. Just look at the little hickey on his neck. I glanced up and sure enough, there was a red mark peeking out from under Julian's collar. This was the man I'd had a crush on for 8 whole years. I wrote countless love letters to him and imagined countless scenarios of confessing my feelings. Finally, I got his response only to realize it was a huge deception. My heart instantly turned cold. All my love was withdrawn. At that moment, I looked at Julian and said, Sorry, I don't like you and I don't want to be with you. You can leave now. I won't see you out. Bianca. The two of them were taken aback by my sudden 180-degree change in attitude. After failing to persuade me, they could only leave awkwardly. As for me, I immediately went to my parents and said bluntly, I agreed to the arranged marriage after confirming the alliance between our two families. Damien and I were finally going to meet. This was actually our second encounter. The first time was in the lounge upstairs at the banquet hall. I had drunk half a bottle of champagne and felt dizzy. He too was flushed from social drinking. Somehow we ended up in each other's arms and spent the entire night entangled. Truth be told, I didn't even know what he looked like. Sitting in the drawing room of Damien's villa, my heart was pounding so hard it nearly leapt out of my throat. The door opened silently and Damien walked in. I froze. He looked nothing like how Scarlett had described him. No ferocious demeanor, nor was he some pot-bellied middle-aged man. He was strikingly handsome. My heart was pounding wildly down this shallow tendency of mine to judge by looks. Wow, it's Dad. A living dad. So handsome. An aura 3 meters away, the little milky voice in my belly suddenly sounded again. Brimming with excitement, Damien took a few steps and sat on the couch across from me. His movements were elegant and refined. Bianca, how are you feeling? His tone was flat, as if asking about the weather. Daddy cares about us. Even though he looked grumpy, Mommy said yes. The little one kicked excitedly in my belly. It's all right, thank you for your concern. I lowered my eyelashes, my face feeling a bit warm. If you need anything, you can directly contact my assistant. He handed over a black business card and added, Anything. Did you hear that, Mommy? Daddy is so domineering. I took the business card, our fingertips brushing. My heartbeat quickened again. After the meeting, the two families began discussing marriage arrangements. The next day, Damien sent people to deliver over a dozen large boxes. They were all betrothal gifts. Antiques, calligraphy, paintings, jewelry, jade. Each piece was priceless. Even my father was astonished. Seems like this Damien really values you. Wait for them to come and discuss. Time is pressing. We can just cancel the engagement ceremony and proceed straight to the wedding. But Damien disagreed. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. It can't be rushed. He specifically took time off to accompany me for dress fittings and inspect the venue for the engagement ceremony. He handled everything personally yet never made decisions for me in a domineering way. The entire engagement ceremony was everything I had envisioned. Seeing the banquet hall filled with my favorite yellow roses, the last traces of hesitation in my heart completely melted away. The only discomfort throughout the entire engagement ceremony came from Scarlett. She actually attended my engagement banquet. After our unpleasant parting that day, we hadn't seen each other since. It seemed she had completely forgotten about what happened. She affectionately looped her arm through mine, saying, "Bianca, congratulations. Tie-ins on soaring from the branches. To become a phoenix." I withdrew my arm and replied I was already the heir to the family corporation. "What do you mean by soaring from the branches?" Mommy's comeback was perfect. Scarlett's expression changed slightly, but she quickly forced a smile. "I didn't mean it like that, Bianca. We've been good friends for so many years. I didn't mean any harm. I just tend to speak my mind." With that, she took hold of my arm again. "I heard today's desserts were prepared by a pastry chef from Paris. Shall we go try them?" She pulled me along as I followed, a hint of weariness rising in my heart. Alert, alert. The mean woman is up to no good. Stay away from that base, Mommy. She's going to fake a fall and push you into it. The little one's voice rang out urgently, filled with extreme anxiety. My scalp prickled and my body instinctively wanted to step back. Scarlett suddenly stumbled underfoot, letting out a startled cry. It seemed as if she had completely lost her balance, yet her elbow aimed precisely toward my side. Having prepared in advance, I dodged backward. I also managed to give Scarlett a kick in the process. Just as I was about to steady myself, a firm arm abruptly wrapped around my waist from behind. It was Damien. I had already regained my balance, but his sudden embrace made my foot slip, sending me tumbling back into his arms. Beside us, Scarlett fell flat on her face, utterly disheveled and humiliated. Wah! That scared me to death. Luckily, Daddy came quickly. Daddy is so handsome. A real hero saving the damsel in distress. The little one's voice rang out again, full of admiration. Alright then. His over-the-top heroics were actually quite cool. I let out a deep sigh and met Damien's profound gaze. It's okay. He looked down at me, his tone tense. I shook my head, my heart pounding like a drum, half from fright, half from the closeness of the embrace. Damien turned his head, his gaze instantly turning icy as it swept over the pitiful Scarlett on the ground. Are you blind? Scarlett was so startled she shivered. Before she could even stand up, she began apologizing profusely. Bianca, I really didn't mean it. I lifted the hem of my dress and stomped my high heel down hard on the back of her hand. A scream followed. I curled my lips into a smirk and said, "Oops, my bad. I didn't mean it either. Go, Mom. Stomp that green tea bitch to death." Throughout the entire engagement ceremony, Scarlett didn't dare cause any more trouble. There was still a private gathering afterward. I never expected that after everything that had happened, she'd still have the audacity to show up. Everyone present was either a senior relative or a friend of Damien and mine. Scarlett, sitting among them, began making conversation again for no reason. Bianca and Damien are truly fated, getting pregnant after just one meeting. Covering her mouth with a laugh, she said, "Bianca usually loves drinking the most. Last time you got drunk at a banquet, didn't you leave with Julian? I actually thought you and Julian, we were dating. Especially since when I went to the hotel to look for you the next day, there were several used condoms in the trash. Who would have thought that just half a month later you'd be with Damien and even pregnant?" The surroundings instantly fell silent, waves of probing, suspicious gazes flooding in. Anyone could tell Scarlett was implying I had a promiscuous private life. I trembled with anger, my breathing rapid. Angry baby, this bad woman nonsense. Daddy, hurry. Believe mommy, baby is yours, your own flesh and blood. The little one in my belly kicked furiously in anger. I took a deep breath and immediately retorted. When did I ever leave with Julian? Did you dream that up or what? Spout such slander again and watch your tongue rot off. Scarlett pouted with Bianca. How could you just deny it like that? The love letter you wrote to Julian is still at my house. You said you were going to run away with him and have his child. Could it be that the baby in your belly is Julian's? Bullshit. Shut up. My voice and Damien's sounded at the same time. His large hand rested on my shoulder. With a calm gaze, he looked at the elders and said, I know my child. Then he turned his head to Scarlett. His tone was low and cold. My family's gathering does not welcome a gossipy troublemaker. Get out. Scarlett's face turned from white to red, as if she had been slapped. Before she could move, the security guards quickly stepped forward and grabbed her arms. Bastards. Let me go. Ah, Daddy is so cool. Overflowing with boyfriend energy. Mommy, see? I told you Daddy isn't blind. I softly patted my belly, signaling the little one to quiet down. At the same time, I glanced at Damien beside me. A warm current surged in my chest. He trusted me without even questioning me once. This marriage, which began by chance, might not be so bad after all. However, even though Damien had cleared things up for me, Scarlett's words still caused quite a stir. Some gossip media even published articles spreading rumors, claiming that I met strange men at night and spent huge sums at clubs for fun, engaging in group activities. The child isn't Damien's at all. 3 people spreading lies make a tyrant seem real. And my marriage with Damien was instantly thrust into the spotlight of controversy. I couldn't help but call Damien. Should I step forward to explain? No need. What do I need to do then? Move into my place. What? There are reporters watching outside your villa. I'll feel better if you move in with me. I was stunned for a full 5 minutes. Damien waited patiently the whole time. Mommy, say yes to Daddy. Daddy is protecting us. Baby wants to live with Daddy too. Until the little one's voice rang out again, I snapped back to attention. Okay, I'll pick you up the next day. All the online news had been cleaned up. I smoothly moved into Damien's home. He arranged for me to stay in the guest bedroom on the 2nd floor, separated from his own bedroom by just a single wall. Life seemed unchanged. He leaves early and returns late every day. Except for having breakfast together, we hardly see each other. I even started to suspect that he never had any romantic feelings for me. Agreeing to marry was merely for the sake of the baby in my belly. The little one seemed to sense my doubt and immediately blurted out, That's not true. Daddy likes Mommy so much. He's crazy about her. He secretly looks at Mommy's photos in the bedroom every day in that password-protected folder on his computer. The password is the baby's due date. I was stunned, thinking how could this be true? Yet I couldn't resist sneaking into the bedroom. Sure enough, there was an encrypted folder on the desktop. To my surprise, the password was indeed the little one's due date. I was dumbfounded. Inside, there were over 1,000 photos, all of me. Some were pictures of me at banquets, others were sneaky shots taken during my daily outings, and the selfies I posted on my social media. My heart was about to jump out of my throat. Where did he get all these photos? Daddy has liked Mommy for a long time. It's Mommy who's been clueless all along and never noticed. I clutched my chest, struggling to catch my breath. The next second, a large hand suddenly wrapped tightly around my waist. Warm breath brushed against my ear. What should I do? You found out. I instinctively struggled, but he only held me tighter, grasping my neck. He planted a deep, lingering kiss. What's going on here? 3 years ago at a celebration banquet, you snapped the fingers of that bald boss who was bullying a waiter. So adorable, Bianca. I fell for you at first sight. That night, the wine only got me slightly tipsy, but it was seeing you that made me lose control. His voice was hoarse as he gripped my chin, staring at me quietly. Then he lowered his head and kissed me again. I didn't know how to breathe properly and nearly suffocated from the intensity of his kiss. Daddy is a big meanie. Mommy and baby can't breathe. The little one's voice sounded again. I snapped out of my daze, immediately pressed against his chest, and gave him a pinch. Shut up. His brows furrowed slightly, and there was a trace of helplessness in his smile as he replied, "Okay." After that day, Damien and I inexplicably entered a passionate relationship. Overnight, our days were filled with sweetness. I moved from the guest bedroom into the master bedroom. One evening, Damien had an unavoidable social engagement and hadn't returned home late into the night. I waited until my head grew heavy, my eyelids drooping with exhaustion. "Mommy, sleep if you're tired. Baby's going to sleep too." The little one's voice was also thick with drowsiness. I burrowed into the blankets and fell asleep instantly. I don't know how long I slept, but suddenly there were faint sounds all around. I woke up startled in the darkness. The noise was coming from the direction of the balcony. I held my breath as I watched a dark figure slip in silently. That person seemed to be Julian in the moonlight. His face bore an expression of desperate madness. "The bad man is coming. There's a knife in the drawer. Mommy, get it quick to protect yourself." I grabbed the switchblade from the drawer as fast as I could. Julian was already lunging at me. "Don't be afraid, Bianca. I just wanted to see you and our child." He grinned menacingly, gripping my wrist tightly while his other hand started tearing at my clothes. I heard Damien has OCD and hates when others touch things. "What do you think? If I were to take you on your bed, would he still want you?" I wanted to scream for help, but he firmly covered my mouth. At the critical moment, I bent my knee and kicked him hard between the legs. He gasped in pain, veins bulging, and loosened his grip on me. I clutched the switchblade and pressed it against his neck. Just then, rapid footsteps came from downstairs. The door was violently kicked open. It was Damien returning. "Daddy! Daddy's here!" The little one cried out, even more excited than I was. The butler said the power was cut off, so I knew something had happened. Damien stroked my head reassuringly while simultaneously grasping Julian's throat. He slammed Julian against the wall, like dragging a dead dog. "Touch what's mine and you're asking for death." Julian, his mouth bleeding from the impact, actually managed to flash a mocking smile. "You've got it all wrong. It was Bianca who asked me to come. She was so desperate, crying and begging me to come over and sleep with her." I was completely dumbfounded. How could he just lie through his teeth like that? "Stop making baseless accusations. The sight of your face makes me sick. When did I ever ask you to come find me?" Julian spat out a mouthful of blood and gestured toward Damien with his chin. "The evidence is on my phone. I have a recording of my call with Bianca." Damien's expression turned stern as he firmly pressed down on his back, freeing one hand to reach into his pants pocket. He pulled out a phone and played the recording. "Bianca, it's been so many days since we last met. How is our baby doing? I want to come see you." "All right, of course, I miss you so much too. I really want to see you. Come find me quickly." My heart skipped a beat. How could this be? The voice in the recording was indeed mine, but I never talked to Julian on the phone. I even blocked his number. Could I have made the call while sleepwalking? Silly mommy, what's sleepwalking? This is a fake recording synthesized by Scarlett and Julian using clips from your past calls. Tell Daddy to send the recording for analysis. They'll be exposed. It suddenly dawned on me. Before my fallout with Scarlett, we did have a similar phone conversation. She had just returned from a European trip, and I called her to invite her over. Yes, everything matched. Realizing this, rage shot straight to my head. Those two would stoop to any despicable act to drag me down. I couldn't hold back anymore. I stepped forward and slapped him hard across the face. "Bastard! Stop dumping your shit on me. I never had that conversation with you. This recording is synthesized. I need to send the recording to Damien for analysis. It'll be clear whether it's synthesized or not once tested." Damien shook his head, stating firmly, "No need. I believe you." His gaze was gentle yet unwavering, showing not a trace of doubt. A warmth spread through my chest, but I still shook my head. "No, we must test it. I won't be wrong for something I didn't do." Damien smiled at me. "All right, we'll do as you say." He immediately called his assistant and had the recording sent to the testing center. 2 hours later, the assistant brought back the test report. The result was exactly as I had expected. The recording was synthesized. Julian turned deathly pale, cold sweat pouring down his face. I slammed the test report right into his face. You bastard, speak up. Did Scarlett give you that phone recording? He hesitated for a moment, then unexpectedly shook his head. It has nothing to do with her. Then explain, where did the spliced recording come from? He fell silent, pressing his lips tightly together, assuming a completely resigned posture. Damien clenched his fists, having reached the limit of his patience. He raised his foot and kicked the man in the shoulder. With 2 consecutive kicks, I heard the sound of bones cracking. Julian screamed in pain but gritted his teeth, refusing to reveal Scarlett's involvement. I called the police, but without Julian telling the truth, they couldn't take any action. They could only detain Julian for the time being. When Scarlett arrived at the police station, she immediately put on her innocent act again. She blinked at me with a face full of feigned innocence. Bianca, I don't know anything about this. You can't blame me. We used to be the best of friends. How could I ever do something like this to you? As she spoke, she took my hand again. Just like before, she gave it a little shake as if acting coquettishly. The expression on her face was clearly one of provocation. Seeing her so brazenly smug, I couldn't take it anymore. I raised my hand and gave her a slap across the face. What are you doing? I didn't answer, striking back with another slap, this one with nearly all the strength I could muster. Scarlett's face swelled almost instantly. She bit her lip, eyes brimming with tears, hands trembling with anger. But with others present, she still didn't dare to hit back. Scarlett, I advise you not to push your luck any further. Once or twice is enough. There won't be a third time. If you provoke me again, I'll make you pay 1,000-fold. I pointed at her nose and enunciated each word slowly. After throwing down these words, Damien and I left the police station. I thought the storm had finally subsided. But unexpectedly, there was still an accident that very night. It happened that a tabloid reporter was lurking outside the villa. Julian broke into my house by climbing through the window late at night, and the reporter caught it all on camera. For the sake of clicks, he twisted the trespassing incident into a late-night tryst using the most disgusting language imaginable. News of Damien and my marriage alliance was already under considerable scrutiny. Damien's new overseas project is about to launch. His father advised him to simply let it blow over. Controversies always subside, and old news will inevitably be overshadowed by the new. I also knew this was the best way to handle it, even though it felt somewhat unfair. We had to consider the bigger picture. There's no need to clarify. Life is lived for ourselves. What outsiders say doesn't matter. I smiled at Damien to show understanding. However, he shook his head no. The next day, he held a press conference. Standing before dozens of media outlets, he publicly defended me. All media outlets that have spread rumors about my fiancé will receive legal notices issued in my personal name within 1 hour. I demand a public apology to my fiancé. His icy gaze swept across all cameras pointing at him, filled with unmistakable warning. The reporters present immediately lowered their heads, none daring to meet his eyes. After delivering the statement, he handed the microphone to his assistant. Then without looking back, he led me away. In the car, he remained characteristically silent. Unable to resist, I turned to study his chiseled profile before stealthily reaching for his hand. He also held my hand and said to me, "Hand me your phone." "What for?" I asked. I passed him my phone. After a few taps, he returned it to me. "I've set my number as your emergency contact from now on. If you're ever in danger, just press the 1 key, and it will automatically call me." I glanced down at the phone screen. I noticed he hadn't just set up the emergency contact. He had also changed his contact name from his full name to husband. Despite it already being autumn, I suddenly felt very warm. The little one's voice rang out again. "Wow, Daddy and Mommy are so sweet. Mommy, Daddy is so handsome. Won't you give him a kiss?" I looked into Damien's calm eyes, serene without a ripple. He was always so composed, yet he made my heart race uncontrollably. It was so unfair. I leaned forward, wrapping my arms around his neck. My lips met his. Being this close, I could hear his heartbeat. So fast, so rapid. The wedding date was set for 2 months later. As the days passed, Damien and I grew even closer. The little one in my belly was steadily growing too, talking even more than before. Just finished dinner and he started fussing again. Mommy, hungry. Food. Want strawberry cake. Asked Daddy to buy it. I didn't want to deal with it at first, but then I couldn't help thinking about the sweet aroma of strawberry cake. Unable to resist the little one's pleas, I had to call Damien. Hello. When he answered, I noticed a hint of tension in his voice. What's up? Well, I want some strawberry cake. He paused for a moment, taking a deep breath. All right, I'll buy it for you. Even though it wasn't time to leave work yet, Damien came home in just 20 minutes. He didn't just bring strawberry cake. There was matcha and chocolate too. I was stunned. Did you move the entire dessert shop home? Ed twice and didn't say a word. The little one was clearly more excited than I was. Baby loves Daddy so much. Daddy is the best daddy in the whole world, also the best husband ever. His soft voice was like a feather brushing against my chest. I nodded lightly in agreement. He was absolutely right. In the following days, I lived comfortably and happily. The little one's voice kept coming, making even the ordinary days anything but boring. Daddy hugged Mommy today. His heart was beating so fast. He's shy. When I'm out, I'll help Mommy keep Daddy's wallet in check. Then buy lots of pretty clothes. Mommy, Daddy bought you a diamond the size of a pigeon egg. It's hidden in the study drawer. Go accidentally find it. I froze for a moment, unable to resist my curiosity. I went up to the second-floor study. The drawer wasn't locked, and as soon as I pulled it open, I saw a blue velvet jewelry box. My fingertips tingled slightly. Mommy, open it quick. Under the little one's incessant urging, I opened the box. The diamond was so dazzling it made me close my eyes. Mommy, put the ring on quickly. This is Daddy's birthday gift for you. This time I didn't listen to the little one. Instead, I put the ring box back exactly as it was. Mommy, don't you like this ring? Of course not. I love it, but this is a surprise Damien prepared for me. If he finds out I've already discovered it ahead of time, the surprise will be ruined. He'd probably be disappointed, wouldn't he? I was filled with joy, waiting for him to personally place the ring on my finger. My birthday party was held at Damien's seaside villa. Wow, there are so many people here. Mommy, I want that ice cream. The little one chatted away, talking nonstop to me. The waiter wheeled out the birthday cake, and everyone gathered around me singing happy birthday. I closed my eyes and made a wish. May the baby stay healthy and may this moment last forever. Just as I opened my eyes, the surroundings suddenly darkened. The music shifted from cheerful to gentle. A beam of light shone down, illuminating Damien as he knelt on one knee. He pulled out that blue velvet ring box. His gaze held a solemn tenderness I'd never seen before. Bianca, I owe you a proposal, and now it's time to make it up to you. Being with you is the happiest thing in my life. For the rest of our days, I'll protect you, love you, and cherish our children too. Will you marry me? He looked up at me, his hands trembling slightly as he held the ring. My vision blurred instantly, tears falling without warning. Agree to it. Mommy, quickly say yes to Daddy. Daddy's so handsome. Wow, I'm so moved. The little one in my belly was so excited that their voice trembled slightly. I reached out, my voice choked with emotion but crystal clear. Yes, Damien, I'll marry you. He finally smiled and trembling, slipped the ring onto my finger. The wedding took place a month later on a private island. On my father's arm, I walked step by step toward the man waiting for me under the flower arch. The little one shouted excitedly, Daddy and Mommy are getting married. I'm the happiest baby in the world. Yet at this moment of supreme happiness, I unexpectedly caught sight of a familiar figure. It was Scarlett, dressed in a black dress that starkly contrasted with the wedding. Her hair disheveled, her gaze filled with venom as she stared at me. At that time I didn't know that since the incident with the recording, Damien had started targeting Scarlett's company. In less than 2 months, Scarlett witnessed Damien's ruthless methods firsthand. Her company's cash flow collapsed, pushing it to the brink of bankruptcy, and she pinned all the blame for her troubles squarely on me. Bianca, you bitch. You stole everything from me. Go to hell! She screamed hysterically, lunging at me like a madwoman, clutching a sharp dagger in her hand. Everything happened too fast, leaving the guests frozen in shock. Mommy, watch out. Knife! The little one shrieked, a piercing warning. Almost simultaneously with the child's alert, My survival instincts kicked in with explosive force. I tightly clamped onto Scarlett's wrist as the razor-sharp blade sliced through my palm, blood gushing out. Beside me, Damien reacted immediately. Just as Scarlett struck, he seized her by the throat. As she struggled, he shielded me behind him. A spine-chilling snap echoed through the air. He had dislocated Scarlett's wrist joint in an instant. Ah! Scarlett let out a pig-slaughtering shriek, the dagger slipping from her grasp as she lost all ability to resist. Simultaneously, the bodyguards swarmed in, pinning down the writhing, wailing Scarlett. Damien, I'm the woman best suited for you. Why are you treating me like this? It's all because of that slut seducing you. The child she's carrying is a bastard. A bastard. Scarlett struggled desperately, her gaze fixed on me as if she wanted to tear me apart. Damien didn't spare her another glance. He immediately turned around and shouted to his assistant, "Call a doctor." Then he anxiously grabbed my shoulders, inspecting me up and down. "Other than your hand, are you hurt anywhere else?" His usually calm voice carried a faint tremble. I knew in that moment he must have been absolutely terrified. I leaned against him and shook my head, trying to calm my breathing. "I'm fine. The baby is fine too. We dodged it." Only then did he let out a long sigh of relief before turning to his bodyguards and saying, "Call the police. Scarlett, you're going to pay for what you've done." The police arrived quickly and took away Scarlett, who had completely lost her mind. Married life was peaceful and happy. Damien kept his promise and gave me a warm home. He remains busy, but he always declines unnecessary social engagements to come home and have dinner with me. Everyone says he has changed. The once domineering CEO has turned into a henpecked husband. He simply smiles faintly without refuting it. Every night he leans close to my belly and softly reads stories to the baby. "Mommy, can you tell Daddy to stop reading financial newspapers? The baby really doesn't like listening to them. The baby wants to hear fairy tales." Listening to the little one's constant complaints and seeing Damien's serious expression, I couldn't help but laugh. A few months later, our son was born. The little one was healthy and beautiful, exactly as I had imagined. When Damien held our son, his usually calm face would reveal a nearly clumsy tenderness. My life was peaceful and happy. As for Scarlett, with conclusive evidence of attempted murder and pressure from Damien, she was ultimately sentenced to 15 years in prison. Let her spend the coming days reflecting on her actions in prison. Not long after she was incarcerated, a haggard-looking woman came looking for me. She is Scarlett's mother. In that moment, I almost didn't recognize her. That once arrogant and glamorous wealthy lady had become so haggard. Her head full of white hair made her seem 20 years older. "Bianca, I beg you. I beg you to show mercy and let Scarlett go. She knows she was wrong, she truly does. She has mental issues. She didn't mean it. You have children too. Please show compassion and issue a letter of forgiveness. I beg you." She knelt before me, crying her heart out, pitiful and wretched. I looked at her, feeling nothing inside. Everything has its cause and effect. Those who do wrong must pay the price for their actions. I grew up with Scarlett. I once considered her my best friend and trusted her unconditionally. Yet all she ever did was scheme against me, trying to drag me into the abyss. She even wanted to kill the child in my womb. I can never forgive any of this. Looking at Scarlett's mother, I spoke slowly. The law has delivered the fairest judgment. I will never forgive someone who tried to kill me and my child. Please leave. I turned and walked away without hesitation. Entering the bedroom, I saw Damien holding our babbling son, patiently playing with him. When he saw me approach, he looked up with gentle eyes and asked, "Everything settled?" I nodded and gently hugged him. The sunlight outside the window was just right.